Hey everybody, welcome back to a reading of the Bible. I'm going to attempt to finish the book of Ezekiel today. We are beginning with chapter 41. Sorry. Here we go. Chapter 41. Afterward, probably God or the angel. Afterward, he brought me to the temple and measured the posts, 6 cubits broad on the one side, 6 cubits broad on the other side, which is the breadth of the tabernacle. The breadth of the door was 10 cubits, and the sides of the door were 5 cubits on the one side, 5 cubits on the other side. And he measured the length thereof, 40 cubits, and the breadth 20 cubits. Then went he inward, and he measured the posts of the door, 2 cubits, and the door 6 cubits. The breadth of let me turn the page here. The breadth of the door 7 cubits. Verse 4. So he measured the length thereof 20 cubits, the breadth 20 cubits before the temple, and he said unto me, This is the most holy place. After he measured the wall of the house 6 cubits, and the breadth of every side chamber 4 cubits, round about the house on every side. The side chambers were 3 cubits, one over another, and 30 in order. 3 side chambers, one over another, and 30 in order. And they entered into the wall which was of the house for the side chambers round about, that they might have hold, but they had not hold in the wall of the house. There was an enlarging and a winding about still upward to the side chambers. For the winding about of the house went still upward round about the house. Therefore the breadth of the house was still upward, and so increased from the lowest chamber to the highest by the midst. I saw also the height of the house round about. The foundations of the side chambers were a full reed of six great cubits. That's interesting. The thickness of the wall, which was for the side chamber outside, was 5 cubits, and that which was left was the place of the side chambers that were inside or within. Between the chambers was the wideness of 20 cubits round about the house on every side. The doors of the side chambers were toward the place that was left, one door toward the north and another door toward the south. And the breadth of the place that was left was 5 cubits round about. Now the building that was before the separate place at the end toward the west was 70 cubits broad, and the wall of the building was 5 cubits thick round about, and the length thereof 90 cubits, 90. So he measured the house, and 100 cubits long, and the separate place, and the building with the walls thereof 100 cubits long. Also the breadth of the face of the house and of the separate place toward the east, 100 cubits. He measured the length of the building over against the separate place which was behind it, and the galleries thereof on the one side, and on the other side 100 cubits, with the inner temple and the porches of the court. The doorposts and the narrow windows and the galleries round about on their 3 stories over against the door, Child, Cieled, with wood round about, and from the ground up to the windows, and the windows were covered. To that above the door, even unto the inner house, and without and outside, and by all the wall round about, within, inside and out, by measure. It was made with cherubims and palm trees, so that a palm tree was between a cherub and a cherub, with every cherub had 2 faces. Palm tree was between two cherubs, and every cherub had 2 faces. So that the face of a man was toward the palm tree on the one side, and the face of the young lion toward the palm tree on the other side, and it was made through all the house round about. From the ground unto above the door were cherubims and palm trees made, and on the wall of the temple. The posts of the temple were squared, and the face of the sanctuary, the appearance of the one as the appearance of the other. The altar of wood was 3 cubits high, and the length thereof was 2 cubits, and the corners thereof, and the length thereof, and the walls thereof were of wood. And he said unto me, This is the table that is before the Lord. The temple and the sanctuary had 2 doors. The doors had 2 leaves apiece, 2 turning leaves, 2 leaves for the one door, and 2 leaves for the other door. And there were made on them, and the doors on the temple, on the doors of the temple, cherubims and palm trees, like as were made upon the walls. And there were thick planks upon the face of the porch outside. There were narrow windows and palm trees on the one side and on the other side, on the side of the porch and upon the side chambers of the house, and thick planks. Okay. Chapter 42. Then he brought me forth unto the outer court, the way toward the north, and he brought me into the chamber that was over against a separate place, and which was before the building toward the north. Before the length of 100 cubits was the north door, and the breadth was 50 cubits. Over against the 20 cubits that were for the inner court, and over against the pavement, which was for the outer court, outer court, was gallery against gallery in 3 stories. Before the chambers was a walk of 10 cubits breadth inward, a way of 1 cubit, and the doors toward the north. Now the upper chambers were shorter, for the galleries were higher than these, and the lower, and in the midmost of the building. For they were in the 3 stories, but had not pillars as the pillars of the courts. Therefore the building was straightened more than the lowest and the middlemost of the ground, from the ground. The wall that was outside over against the chambers toward the outer court, on the forefront of the chambers, the length thereof was 50 cubits. For the length of the chambers that were in the outer court was 50 cubits, and lo, before the temple were 100 cubits. And from under these chambers was the entry on the east side, as one goeth into them from the outer court. The chambers were in the thickness of the wall of the court toward the east, over against the separate place and over against the building. The way before them was like the appearance of the chambers which were toward the north, as long as they and as broad as they, and all their goings out were both according to their fashions and according to their doors. According to the doors of the chamber that were toward the south was a door in the head of the way, even the way directly before the wall toward the east, as one entereth into them. Then said he unto me, the north chambers and the south chambers, which are before the separate place, they be holy chambers, where the priests that approach unto the Lord shall eat the most holy things. There shall they lay the most holy things, and the meat offering, the sin offering, the trespass offering, for the place is holy. When the priests enter therein, then shall they not go out of the holy place into the outer court, but there they shall lay their garments wherein they minister, for they are holy, and shall put on other garments, and shall approach to those things that are for the people. Now when he had made an end of the measuring of the inner house, he brought me forth toward the gate, whose prospect is toward the east, and measured it round about. He measured the east side with a measuring reed, 500 reeds, within the measuring reed round about. He measured the north side, 500 reeds, with a measuring reed round about. He measured the south side, 500 reeds, with a measuring reed. He turned about to the west side, and measured 500 reeds with a measuring reed. He measured it by the four sides. It had a wall round about. It had a wall round about, 500 reeds long and 500 reeds broad, and to make a separation between the sanctuary and the profane place. Chapter 43. Afterward he brought me to the gate, even the gate that looketh toward the east, and behold, the glory of the God of Israel came from the way of the east, and his voice was like a noise of many waters, and the earth shined with his glory. It was according to the appearance of the vision which I saw, even according to the vision that I saw when I came to destroy the city. And the visions were like the vision that I saw by the river Chebar, and I fell upon my face. The glory of the Lord came into the house by the way of the gate, whose prospect is toward the east. So the Spirit took me up and brought me into the inner court, and behold, the glory of the Lord filled the house. I heard him speaking, that's the Lord. I heard him, the Lord, speaking unto me out of the house, and the man stood by me. He said unto me, Son of man, the place of my throne, and the place of the soles of my feet, where I will dwell in the midst of the children of Israel forever, and my holy name shall the house of Israel no more defile, neither they nor their kings by the whoredom, nor by the carcasses of their kings in their high places. In the setting of their threshold by my thresholds, and their posts by my posts, and the wall between me and them, they have even defiled my holy name by their abominations that they have committed. Wherefore I have consumed them in my anger. Now let them put away their whoredom, and the carcasses of their kings, far from me, and I would let them put away their whoredom and the carcasses of their kings far from me, and I will dwell in the midst of them forever. Thou, son of man, show the house to the house of Israel, that they may be ashamed of their iniquities, and let them measure the pattern. If they be ashamed of all that they have done, show them the form of the house and the fashion thereof, and the goings out thereof, and the comings in thereof, and all the forms thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, all the forms thereof, all the laws thereof, and write it in their sight, that they may keep the whole form thereof, and all the ordinances thereof, and do them. This is the law of the house, oikonomia in Greek. Upon the top of the mountain, the whole limit thereof round about shall be most holy. Behold, this is the law of the house. This is the oikonomia. These are the measures of the altar after the cubits. The cubit is a cubit and a hand breadth. Even the bottom shall be a cubit, and the breadth a cubit, and the border thereof by the edge thereof round about shall be a span. And this shall be the higher place of the altar. From the bottom upon the ground, even to the lower settle, shall be 2 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. And from the lesser settle even to the greater settle shall be 4 cubits, and the breadth 1 cubit. So the altar shall be 4 cubits, and from the altar and upward shall be 4 horns. The altar shall be 12 cubits long, 12 broad, square, in the 4 squares thereof. The settle shall be 14 cubits long, and 14 broad, in the 4 squares thereof, and the border about it shall be half a cubit, and the bottom thereof shall be a cubit about, and his stairs shall look toward the east. He said unto me, Son of man, thus saith the Lord God, these are the ordinances of the altar in the day when they shall make it, to offer burnt offerings thereon, and to sprinkle blood thereon. Thou shalt give to the priests the Levites, that be of the seed of Zadok, which approach unto me, to minister unto me, saith the Lord God, a young bullock for sin offering. Thou shalt take of the blood thereof, and put it on the 4 horns of it, and on the 4 corners of the settle, and upon the border round about. Thus shalt thou cleanse and purge it. Thou shalt take the bullock also, the sin offering, and he shall burn it in the appointed place of the house, outside the sanctuary. says without, but it's outside the sanctuary. On the second day thou shalt offer a kid of the goats without blemish for sin offering, and they shall cleanse the altar as they did cleanse it with the bullock. When thou hast made an end of the cleansing, thou shalt offer a young bullock without blemish, and a ram out of the flock without blemish. Thou shalt offer them before the Lord, and the priests shall cast salt upon them, and they shall offer them up for a burnt offering unto the Lord. 7 days shalt thou prepare every day a goat for a sin offering. Thou shalt also prepare a young bullock and a ram out of the flock without blemish. 7 days shall they purge the altar and purify it, and they shall consecrate themselves. When these days are expired, it shall be that upon the 8th day, and so forth, the priests shall make your burnt offerings upon the altar, and your peace offerings, and I will accept you, saith the Lord God. Chapter 44. Then he brought me back the way of the gate out of the outward sanctuary, which looketh toward the east, and it was shut. Then said the Lord unto me, let me turn the page here, sorry. And the Lord said unto me, it's still verse 2 of chapter 44, said unto me, this gate shall be shut, and shall not be opened, and no man shall enter in by it, because the Lord, the God of Israel, hath entered in by it, therefore it shall be shut. It is for the prince, he shall sit in it to eat bread before the Lord. He shall enter by the way of the porch of that gate, and shall go out by the way of the same. Then brought he me by the way of the north gate before the house. And I looked, and behold, the glory of the Lord filled the house of the Lord, and I fell upon my face. The Lord said unto me, Son of man, mark well, and behold with thine eyes, and hear with thine ears all that I say unto thee concerning all the ordinances of the house of the Lord, and all the laws thereof, and mark well the entering in of the house, and with every going forth of the sanctuary. Thou shalt say to the rebellious, even to the house of Israel, thus saith the Lord God, O ye house of Israel, let it suffice you of all your abominations, in that ye have brought into my sanctuary strangers uncircumcised in heart, and uncircumcised in flesh, to be in my sanctuary, to pollute it, even my house, when ye offer my bread, the fat and the blood, and they have broken my covenant because of all your abominations. Ye have not kept the charge of mine holy things, but ye have set keepers of my charge in my sanctuary for yourselves. Thus saith the Lord God, no stranger, uncircumcised in heart, nor uncircumcised in the flesh, shall enter into my sanctuary of any stranger that is among the children of Israel. The Levites, who are gone away far from me, when Israel went astray, who went astray away from me after their idols, they shall even bear their iniquity. Yet they shall be ministers of my sanctuary, having charge of the gates of the house, and ministering to the house. They shall slay the burnt offering and the sacrifice for the people, and they shall stand before them to minister unto them. Because they ministered unto them before their idols, and caused the house of Israel to fall into iniquity, therefore have I lifted up mine hand against them, saith the Lord God, and they shall bear their iniquity. They shall not come near unto me to do the office of a priest unto me, nor to come near to any of my holy things in the most holy place. But they shall bear their shame and their abominations which they have committed. But I will make them keepers of the charge of the house, for all the service thereof, and for all that shall be done therein. But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Zadok, who kept the charge of my sanctuary, when the children of Israel went astray from me, they shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood, saith the Lord God. They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall come near to my table, to minister unto me, and they shall keep my charge. It shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court, they shall be clothed with linen garments, and no wool shall come upon them, whilst they minister in the gates of the inner court and within. They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causeth sweat. When they go forth into the utter court, even unto the utter court to the people, they shall put off their garments wherein they ministered, and lay them in the holy chambers, and they shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments. Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow long. They shall only poll their heads. Neither shall any priest drink wine when they enter into the inner court. Neither shall they take for their wives a widow, nor her who is put away. But they shall take maidens of the seed of the house of Israel, or a widow that had a priest before. They shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. In the controversy they shall stand in judgment, and they shall judge it according to my judgments, and they shall keep my laws and my statutes in all mine assemblies, and they shall hallow my Sabbaths. They shall come at no dead person to defile themselves, but for father, for mother, for son, for daughter, for brother, for sister, who have no husband, they may defile themselves. After he is cleansed, they shall reckon unto him 7 days. In the day that he goeth into the sanctuary, unto the inner court, to minister in the sanctuary, he shall offer his sin offering, saith the Lord God. It shall be unto them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance, and you shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. This is for the Levites. They shall eat the meat offering, the sin offering, the trespass offering, and every dedicated thing in Israel shall be theirs. The first of all, the first fruits of all things, and every oblation of all, of every sort of your oblations, shall be the priest's. You shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that he may cause the blessing to rest in thine house. The priest shall not eat of anything that is dead of itself, or torn, whether it be fowl or beast. Chapter 45. Moreover, when ye shall divide by lot the land for an inheritance, ye shall offer an oblation unto the Lord. And the holy portion of the land, the length shall be the length of 25,000 reeds, and the breadth shall be 10,000. This shall be holy in all the borders thereof round about. Of this there shall be for the sanctuary 500 in length, 500 in breadth, square round about, and 50 cubits round about for the suburbs thereof. Of this measure shalt thou measure the length of 25,000, and the breadth 10,000, and in it shall be the sanctuary and the most holy place. The holy portion of the land, turn the page here. The holy portion of the land shall be for the priests, the ministers of the sanctuary, who shall come near to minister unto the Lord. And there shall be a place for their houses, and a holy place for the sanctuary. The 25,000 of length, the 10,000 of breadth, shall also the Levites, the ministers of the house, have for themselves for a possession for 20 chambers. You shall appoint the possession of the city 5,000 broad and 25,000 long. over against the oblation of the holy portion. It shall be for the whole house of Israel. A portion shall be for the prince on the one side, on the other side of the oblation of the holy portion, another possession of the city before the oblation of the holy portion, and before the possession of the city, from the west side westward, and from the east side eastward. And the length shall be over against one of the portions, from the west border unto the east border. In the land shall be his possession in Israel. In the land shall be his possession in Israel. And my princes shall no more oppress my people. And the rest of the land shall they give to the house of Israel according to their tribes. Thus saith the Lord God, let it suffice to you, O princes of Israel. Remove violence and spoil, and execute judgment and justice. Take away your exactions from my people, saith the Lord God. Ye shall have just balances, and a just ephah, and a just bath. The ephah and the bath shall be of one measure, that the bath may contain the 10th part of a homer, and the ephah the 10th part of a homer, and the measure thereof shall be after the homer. The shekel shall be 20 gerahs, 20 shekels, 20 shekels, 25 shekels, 15 shekels shall be your menah. This is the oblation that ye shall offer, the 6th part of an ephah, of a homer of barley. Concerning the ordinances of oil, the bath of oil, you shall offer the 10th part of a bath out of the cor, cor, which is a homer of 10 baths. For 10 baths are a homer. 1 lamb out of the flock, out of 200, out of the fat pastures of Israel, for a meat offering and for a burnt offering and for peace offerings, to make reconciliation for them, saith the Lord God. All the people of the land shall get this oblation for the prince of Israel. It shall be the prince's part to give burnt offerings and meat offerings and drink offerings in the feasts and in the new moons and the Sabbaths and all solemnities of the house of Israel. He shall prepare the sin offering and the meat offering and the burnt offering and the peace offering to make reconciliation for the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord God, in the first month, on the first day of the month shalt thou take a young bullock without blemish, and cleanse the sanctuary. The priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering, and put it upon the posts of the house, and upon the 4 corners of the settle of the altar, and upon the posts of the gate of the inner court. So thou shalt do the 7th day of the month for every month that erreth, for everyone that erreth, and for him who is simple, so shall ye reconcile the house. In the first month of the 14th day of the month, ye shall have the Passover feast of 7 days. Unleavened bread shall be eaten. Upon that day shall the prince prepare for himself and for all the people of the land a bullock for sin offering. 7 days of the feast he shall prepare a burnt offering to the Lord, 7 bullocks and 7 rams without blemish, daily the 7 days. Let me read that again. 7 days of the feast he shall prepare a burnt offering to the Lord, 7 bullocks and 7 rams without blemish, daily the 7 days, and the kid of the goats daily for sin offering. He shall prepare a meat offering of an ephah for a bullock, and an ephah for a ram, and a hin of oil for an ephah. In the 7th month, and the 15th day of the month, shall he do the like in the feast of all of the 7 days, according to the sin offering, according to the burnt offering, and according to the meat offering, and according to the oil. I'll stop there. We're almost done. Got about 2 more chapters left. Hope you enjoyed this reading. Have a great day. Bye-bye.